Hey class, I hope everyone's doing well today. I recorded this video a long time ago, but obviously Satan did not want this word to come out because I could not find the recording, so I'm having to re-record. And this is the Holy Bible, KJV. Today we are reading from Genesis chapter 2, and the topic is creation of. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day, God ended his work, which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. These are the generations of the. And in this section, we're going to be talking about the Garden of Eden. Okay, so I said in the last sentence, these are the generations of the heavens and of the earth, which they were created in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Okay, and this is a precept here, 1 Corinthians 15 and 45. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, the resurrection body. And so this is verse 45. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 45. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit. Okay, and you see that pairs up with Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And quickening means life-giving. Okay, so let's go back to where we left off, Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. They have the precepts to give you a deeper understanding. Also, another precept is Timothy. They abbreviate it with TIM for Tim. Tim is an abbreviation for Timothy. Timothy chapter 2, verse 13. So let's go to that precept. This is another precept to Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. We already looked at 1 Corinthians 15:45. Now let's look at 1 Timothy, because it has the number 1 there. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 13. Let's go. This is 1 Timothy. This says the first letter of Paul to Timothy. So this is 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 13. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And you see that pairs with Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And formed means created. See, it says the word created right there. Okay, so let's go back to Genesis chapter 2. We are finished with Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. Now let's go on to verse 8. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Okay, so it has a Revelations chapter 2, verse 7. Okay, so you see we are here, the Revelation to John, the Apocalypse. That's what Revelation means, the Apocalypse. And This is chapter 2, verse 7. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of God. And you see that pairs with where we just left off, Genesis chapter 2, verse 9. Okay. We have a second precept here, Revelations, for Genesis chapter 2, verse 9. We have a second precept here, Revelations 22, verse 2. So this says Revelation 22, chapter 22, verse number 2. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And you see that pairs here with Genesis chapter 2. Now we are back to Genesis chapter 2, but we're going to start at verse 10. And a river went, and went means flowed right there, out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence means that place. It was parted and became into 4 heads, and heads means divisions or branches. The name of the first is Pison, that is it, which compasseth means surrounds, the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and the onyx stone, and the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasseth, and we already know that compasseth means surrounds, the whole land of Ethiopia. So it has the word Cush there, meaning that Ethiopia, referring to the Cush area. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. That is it which goeth toward the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. And the Lord God took the man, and the man here means Adam, and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress, and dress here means cultivate it and to keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. Okay, so to get a better understanding, we need to go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 9. And right here, meet means fit. Okay, so 1 Corinthians 11, verse 9. Let's go there. 1 Corinthians chapter 11. And then let's just scroll down to verse 9. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. And this goes back to Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. It pairs with that, which is where we just left off. Now we're back to Genesis chapter 2. And we just finished reading verse 18. So let's just go on to 19. And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field, and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found in help meet for him. And again, meet means fit. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And instead thereof means in place of it. Okay, so for deeper understanding, let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 8. 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 8. We just got through reading verse 9 a moment ago, but now we're going to go up to verse 8. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Wow. And that goes back to Genesis chapter 2, verse 21. Genesis chapter 2. And we're going to read verse 22, because we've already read 21. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. Genesis chapter 2, verse 23. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman. And woman here means Isha, because she was taken out of man. Okay? And right there, man means Ish. Okay, so Isha is Hebrew, because you see the letters HEB there in parentheses. That's an abbreviation or a short way of writing the word Hebrew, because Hebrew is spelled HEBREW. So when they have HEB, that's like a short version or an abbreviation of the word Hebrew. And Hebrew is a language that the Bible was originally written in. So when it says woman means Isha, Isha is Hebrew for woman, and man means Ish. That is, Ish is Hebrew for man. Okay, so let's continue. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave. Cleave means to cling unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Let's go to Mark chapter 10, verse 8. We are at Mark chapter 10, and that says chapter 10. Let's go down to verse 8. And this is verse 8. And they twain. Twain means two, like the number two. TWO means, spells the number two. Okay, let's start over. And they twain shall be one flesh. So then they are no more twain, but one flesh. That does pair with Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so let's finish up. Okay, so let's finish up with Genesis chapter 2, verse 25. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Oh, that was so beautiful and so satisfying to read today, class. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot. And I really appreciate your hanging in there with me today. Next time, Lord willing, I will read Genesis chapter 3. Please like and subscribe to the channel and share the video. Again, there is no homework when I read the Bible to you, other than for you to write down any words that you want to add to your vocabulary list. You can add those and review them, learn how to spell them, and you can begin writing sentences with them. That's the only homework whenever I read the Bible. Okay, and I appreciate you so much. See you next time, Lord willing.